everyone from Chicago. It is Monday, November 9th. I'm Charles Brown, Portfolio Manager with CB3 Financial. We're glad you're with us. From COVID to politics to the economy, this is CB3 Live and your Monday Market Mashup. Really glad you're with us tonight. I try to get these out by 7 o'clock Central. Doesn't always work. And there was a court case in the Supreme Court today that I was waiting to get some information on. Just didn't happen. So here we go. Again, I try to do these by 7 p.m., but appreciate your patience on that, okay? For those of you that are watching this for the first time, please subscribe to us on YouTube. Click the little bell so that you get notified when we go live. Also, follow us on Twitter. I'm tweeting regularly every day, sometimes twice a day. If some major news item comes out, I will be there to alert you about it. And also, we're on Facebook and LinkedIn. So today, vaccine announced. Big deal, okay? Buy. And that's not B-Y-E, it's B-U-Y. And if you guys remember from when I did the Thursday night shows, when my hands go back like this, that means that's what a floor broker does when he says buy. I want to buy. And, I was just watching the screens today. Market was up 300, 350. I thought, that's a good Monday. And then I turned around and it's up 1,700 points. And, of course, Pfizer's, there in the Dow 30. And it's like, what is going on? And it got crazier from there. So, Corona America, guy, Pfizer's announcement early this morning of a 90% efficacy rate for its COVID-19 vaccination in initial testing, but has encouraged investors big time. So the connection to this for the capital markets is there's really some significant hope now to think that 2021 will give us a return to normal. That's especially important for those pandemic stocks that have been so beaten up, the airlines, restaurants, theaters, entertainment in general. It's just been a terrible year for them. Terrible year. Now, obviously, it may not be the case that it's early in 2021 because it's one thing to announce that you have a vaccine, then you have to manufacture it, then you have to distribute it. Now, Pfizer's saying we think we're going to be able to do 50 million this year. That's a lot. But 1 billion vaccines in 2021. So that is what calmed the market and gave investors confidence that we might be back on track to having some kind of normality. And obviously with the U.S. economy, the market responded. Look at the green on the screen, guys. NASDAQ up, S&P on the year now up 10% roughly. The Dow is green for the first time, 2.2%. Largely that happened today. The Russell 2000 also up 2.2%. You guys have been watching this since March. They've been negative. So all four major indices green on the screen. Love it. And that is important. Why? Those of you that watch my Thursday night show know that to continue a secular bull market, all asset classes have to participate. It can't just be one, i.e. the NASDAQ. And in fact, the NASDAQ really got hit today as investors rotated. I'll get to that in just a second. I wanted to highlight SG. That's one of our two growth programs. Many of you have CG. A lot of you also have SG, different strategies. 51.95. We're going to call that 52%. Pretty good year. In fact, lifetime high as of last Friday. Didn't have today's closing data, but not bad. If you guys want to know more, those of you that are clients get it. Those of you that are just watching me and you have any questions and want to know how we're doing this, I'd be happy to answer them. You know the contact information at cb3financial.com. So the S&P was up about 4% today, pulled back towards the close, and it's largely because of Pfizer and BioNTech. Obviously, real strong returns there, and strong returns from the airline stocks, from the cruise lines, double-digit gains. Even the theaters piped in there. And other stocks that have just been beaten down during this time, anything that involves participation of people. So what got hit was investors rotating out of growth stocks and into value or cyclical or even small cap stocks. Now, we are in these pandemic stocks, so this was not a great day for us, but we had a fantastic week last week. So we understand that our strategy is not going to win every single day. We do believe over time it will, and that's why you see the results for CG and SG that I've pointed out in tonight's episode. But, it's okay. We need all asset classes to win if we're going to keep this secular bull market intact. And I'm thinking that that's what we're going to do. So on Thursday night, I told you that the next day was the October non-farms payroll. Obviously too late to influence the election, but unemployment rate dropped down to 6.9, which historically is a high number, but not now. I mean, we were up in the 30s for unemployment for a very brief time on a weekly basis back in February and March and even early April. And that's just continued to come back down as the economy has just really kicked into gear. I mean, it's kind of a miracle, really, what the U.S. economy has done. People have gotten back on track. Sure, there are still industries, sectors like energy that have just not done anything in this recovery, but a whole lot of America has, and I'm encouraged by this. 638,000 new jobs in October when the Labor Department was only expecting 530,000, briefing Wall Street Journal and others. So that's a clear big time beat of what was projected. As far as the election, you guys know these numbers. Biden has declared victory. He doesn't know his final count, but it's at least 270. That's his opinion. I've got Arizona gray. I've got Alaska gray. Why can't they count votes in Alaska? Are you kidding me? There's 3 electoral votes. Georgia is gray. North Carolina is gray. Now, granted, depending on who you look at, some of these states may indeed be blue. Wisconsin is blue, but it has lines through it. Look carefully. Same with Michigan, same with Pennsylvania, because each of those states has a legal challenge submitted by the Trump administration. Actually, so does Nevada and Arizona and Georgia. But recounts are likely in those Rust Belt states and could swing the election if, in fact, these votes that you've been reading about, without me hashing it out here, prove to be illegal votes. We're counting all the legal votes, not just counting all the votes, okay? You might say, well, why would Biden go ahead and do this? I mean, that must make him the president-elect, right, if he's declaring it? Remember back in 2000 when Al Gore for 32 days said, I'm the president-elect. And then the Supreme Court said, nah, we're going to stop the counting. And George Bush won the election by 271 electoral votes, one more than necessary. And everything changed just days before the Electoral College met. Folks, we are 5 weeks plus away from the Electoral College meeting. So this thing is not over yet. If I were a betting person, I would think that probably Joe Biden is going to be the 46th president, but I don't have enough data yet to say that. There is a lot hanging out there. Okay? There is no program on this Thursday night. I'm sorry about that, guys, but I'm traveling. I'll be in Tennessee and Texas. Just personal family business I've got to do. So I will continue to tweet anything that comes up that's major. You'll hear from me. I do plan to be in Tennessee next Monday night, and I'll do a show from there, although it'll be kind of like what I did in New Hampshire and Wisconsin. Not a fancy background like I have here, but just want you to know that I do plan to do that for you guys. So there's a whole lot going on in America right now, guys. I think you know that. I'm here for you. Our programs are weathering the economy well. They're weathering this news well. And America, I mean, I just don't see how we could have a more tumultuous 2020, but I really shouldn't say that. I can't even knock on wood because there have been so many unusual happenings. But just know that we here at CB3 Financial will be watching out for you, for your accounts, and doing our very best to keep you informed as to what's happening. That's our show on Monday, November 9th. I'm Charles Brown, Portfolio Manager from here in Chicago at CB3 Financial. We don't just manage your assets, we become one of them. And from COVID to politics to the economy to clarity, this is your Monday Market Mashup of CB3 Live.